Sunday. It's actually Sunday today. I've been wrong every single day for the last 2 days on what actual day it is. So just woke up not too long ago, and a lot of stuff has happened in the last 24 hours that we need to discuss. We've got Trump stuff, obviously, because tomorrow is inauguration day, in theory, and Biden stuff because today should be Biden's last day as president, in theory. And then TikTok, obviously, that's a huge one right now. And the fact that it's 53 degrees here and the wind is at 15 miles per hour and it's cold as all get out compared to what it was yesterday. And I'm not very happy about it. But thank you guys for being here. We're going to jump into everything in just a second. I was listening or reading your live chat before I got started, and I was like, oh, coffee sounds great. So I have brought myself a second cup of coffee. We'll see what happens with this because that's a lot of caffeine on an empty stomach squirrel first thing in the morning. And I might have heated it up too long. It's very hot. It burns the esophagus. Okay, so first things first. If you're new here, this is going to be whatever it's going to be. Hopefully you stick around. If not, it's okay. I understand life happens and people need to move along. The first thing I want to say is, have any of you ever heard a group of 14, 15, and 16-year-old girls, teenage girls, lose their ever-loving mind? Because I have. Last night at roughly 10:30 p.m. Central Time, which would be about 11:30 p.m. Eastern Time, we were watching a movie called Greenland, which, side note, it is on Max or HBO Max or whatever the crap it's supposed to be called these days. And it's about asteroids or meteors that are going to hit the Earth, and it's going to be one of those never ending, or those what is it? Planet ending asteroid or comet or whatever it is. And it's called Greenland because, and I'm going to spoiler here, the underground bunkers for safety for everybody are in Greenland. And I was like, huh. Well, the irony of that being the movie premise, while Donald Trump is in the works to, I don't want to say purchase Greenland, but okay. Yeah. Okay. Put two and two together. Got it. Anyway, so we're watching this movie. And in the middle of the movie, my daughter, she's on her phone playing, because that's what they do all the time, texting back and forth, her and her friends. And she answers a phone call, I guess, and all I hear is screaming. And I'm like, what is happening? What's going on? She goes, oh my gosh, I have to go. I have to go. And she leaves the living room and goes to her room with the door closed. And I still hear teenage girls losing their ever-loving mind. And I look at my watch and I'm like, what is going on? Why are they all so late? And then I'm like, and I pull up TikTok, and sure as shit, there's the little note that says TikTok no longer works in the United States of America thanks to Joe Biden. And then it's like, well, hopefully President Trump will get us figured out and back on whatever. So these girls were losing their shit because TikTok was gone. They didn't know what to do with themselves. Now, my daughter, she doesn't really get on TikTok anymore. Like, we used to watch like funny things on there, but she's more on Instagram Reels and stuff like that. She likes watching all the little comedy things. She'll watch YouTube shorts of comedy, things like that. But the TikTok stuff, these girls were losing their absolute mind. And I was like, it's not that big a deal for it to go away. But then I had to step back and think about it from the aspect of TikTok is not just about, dumb people doing dances to stupid music or putting up really idiotic, trashy little videos. There are a lot of people on TikTok who are, I'm going to say, truth bringers, who are trying to share what's going on in the world and everywhere else in our country and politically and whatever else. They're trying to share that stuff. And now they've, in essence, been silenced by it being taken away. What's interesting, though, is that TikTok was huge, and Joe Biden used it during campaigning. Kamala used it during campaigning. Trump used it during campaigning. And now suddenly they think it's, the devil, and they want to get rid of it, which is very interesting to me. But I do feel bad for the people who relied on that platform to be able to have their freedom of speech and put out information about what's going on, or who relied on it for income, because people were getting paid through TikTok if they had like sponsors or whatever else like that. So I do feel bad for them. I do not feel bad for the people who are on there just to push their liberal bullshit. Like, I'm glad that's gone for them, but I realize I can't be happy that it's gone for them and sad that it's gone for other people. It needs to be the same feeling across the board. But it is what it is. So that's the whole thing with TikTok. just FYI. Now on to Trump. So we've talked in the last 2 days about how he's supposed to be sworn in tomorrow, Monday, January 20th, and it was supposed to be out in front on the lawn or whatever the crap it's called. Then they moved it to a rotunda. Now they're saying it's going to be done inside the White House itself, and it's going to be like nobody there. Like, it keeps changing, but people are saying that it's Donald Trump who is making all these changes, and we don't even know which one is accurate, because it could be, excuse me, I gave myself hiccups. It could be because he wants to keep people unsure of what's going to happen or where it's going to be, so nobody can put together a plan to go after him. You know, like, that makes perfect sense to me. And I think that that's a smart move on his end, if that is what is going on, to, like Sarah says, keep them guessing. I fully believe that that is a very smart idea if that is what is happening. But now they're also saying that the parade has been canceled. So you have all this conflicting information, and Donald Trump is not confirming or denying any of it. You don't really have anybody in his circle confirming or denying any of it. They aren't the ones talking about where the inauguration is going to be. They aren't talking about the parade. They aren't talking about anything else. So I'm now like, okay, well, we have to take every single little bit of information with a grain of salt, because all of it could be misdirection for safety reasons, right? And it makes sense. Now, I was looking at X earlier today, because a lot of stuff does get posted over there. And this is just one of the first things I want to show you. So last night, there was this massive like fireworks kind of celebration for Donald Trump and Melania and basically the country, as far as I'm concerned. And during the fireworks, look what Trump is doing. He's staring at his wife. She is absolutely beautiful. So you have that one, and then this one here. The fireworks are out in front of them, and he is focused solely on her. And I think that that is absolutely amazing. Now, he did watch the fireworks. There are videos of him watching the fireworks. But I thought that that was, what's the way to phrase that? I thought that was endearing. I'm going to go with that. I think it was endearing, and it was human, and it was, goals in a relationship. I don't know if that's correct or not, but that's how I'm looking at it. Like, women want their husbands to look at them like they're the most beautiful thing they've ever seen. No matter how long you've been married or dating or whatever else, it was something that every man, I would think that most men who saw those pictures or saw that happen would think to themselves, man, look at him. He knows he's lucky with his wife. And then you have women looking at her and going, look at her. She's lucky. Look at how her husband looks at her. It's one of those things where it just gave you like the warm and fuzzies. And I think it is beyond time that this country had warm and fuzzies. We need warm and fuzzies back. Another thing that gave me like the warm and fuzzies, Trump's cabinet. They all got gussied up, as my mother and Nana would say, gussied up and took this picture. And you have Pete Hegseth in the front. You have RFK Jr. over there just looking swole as all get out. But I thought this was a very, very classy picture. You know what's not in this picture? Libtard dipshits who are men dressed as women, who are bald men with red lipstick and a dress on. Was his name Sam Britton? Who are just ridiculously stupid looking. That's what that comes down to. I love that picture because it is men and women. Men and women. Not men who think they're women, not women who think they're men, not people who are like, I'm non-binary, whatever all that shit is. Nothing. It is men and women. And I absolutely love it. And people are going to be like, oh, it's a lot of white people. Nope. There's an Indian guy in the back and a black guy over to the left and an Asian woman in the front. So you can miss me with that, the white cabinet bullshit, because that's not accurate at all. So I love this picture. I thought it was amazing. I wanted to share it with you guys because it sets the tone. Sorry, I keep reaching for my coffee. It sets the tone for what the next 4 years is going to be, which is classy, respectful, morals, integrity, America first, obviously. And it's beyond time that we are back to that. Like, it is ridiculous to me. Okay, so let's just jump into this part. I told you guys, I don't know if I told you guys yesterday during the live stream or if I posted it on X, because, you know, my brain, everything scrambles together. I don't know where it was, but visually, from what I saw, what I read, what I got from Grok by asking questions, Donald Trump, okay, listen, Donald Trump flew on Air Force One to the Joint Base Andrews, but whatever the crap that's called, I'm really bad at names, in Maryland, right? Maryland. He flew on Air Force One there and then took another, I don't know if it's another plane from there to DC or drove from there to DC. I'm not 100% positive on that. But okay, put the coffee back down. He was on Air Force One. Now, let's go to my page here because I can't remember everything. There's way too much going on. Here's what where's the post? Where's the post? Where's the post? Please hold. Okay. According to Trump's transition team, this is Trump's transition team who made this statement. A president-elect ahead of their inauguration gains access to Air Force One as a precaution. The plane takes the president-elect to Joint Base Andrews in Maryland. I was close. This, therefore, marks the unofficial start of the second Trump administration. Okay? The unofficial start of the second Trump administration. The reason that is important is if you saw the thumbnail for today's live stream. Oh, come on now. You saved it. Where'd it go? Wait. Here it is. Here it is. This is, no, wrong button. What are you doing? What is happening? Please hold. I don't know what's going on. You son of a beach. Sign in. I don't want to sign in. I just want to see this. Please hold 1 second. I did not realize that my iPad was going to make me do all kinds of really stupid stuff. I don't want to do all that. No, I don't want to. Okay, so listen, we'll just go back with this. You can look at the thumbnail when this is all said and done. Joe Biden flew into Joint Base Andrews on a regular ass plane. Joe Biden, yesterday, President, because yesterday was the 18th, President Joe Biden flew on a regular ass plane to Joint Base Andrews in Maryland, while Donald Trump, who is president-elect and technically isn't supposed to be president until tomorrow on the 20th, flew in on Air Force One. Okay, so here's my thought process on this. Now, please remember, I do not have a ton of political knowledge. I am new to all of this political stuff. I'm learning as I go, and a lot of this stuff is opinions based on what I have seen and what I am learning and whatnot. If Joe Biden took a regular ass plane and Donald Trump took the presidential plane, that says to me that maybe possibly the swearing in has already occurred and they have not told anybody. That is my thought process on this, because why would they be that way if that wasn't the case? It's only Air Force One if a president is on it, not a president-elect. And there was no president on it if Joe Biden is actually still the president. Donald Trump was on it, which makes it automatically him the president. According to what I looked up and what I researched, that's what that means. So here's how I feel about this. I'm 50-50 on this. I wonder if it was a thing where they swore him in early, right? Or, and if they did swear him in early, is it because of, this is going to sound real dark, like not on purpose though. Is it because if they take him out as actual president, then they're able either to move up JD Vance or Mike Johnson? Now, a lot of people have been worried that Mike Johnson is a rhino, Republican in name only, that he was playing both sides, whatever else. If that was the case, and Trump was no longer available as president, and Mike Johnson was able to take over as president, would he flip it and run the country as the Democrats would? That's my question. This is how my brain works. I cannot guarantee that. I mean, obviously, I can't guarantee shit that I talk about. This is, a lot of it is stuff that I have seen, I have heard, and my opinions and my thought process on these things. But it's something that to me makes sense, right? So I was just curious, and I want to just bring it to you guys like that and get your thoughts on that, especially because they are talking about, we talked about already how they're consistently moving what's going to happen with the inauguration and everything else. They showed Trump pulling up to the plane. Hold on. I think I have this still. Go away. Whatever you're doing, stop it. Go away. I hate technology sometimes. It like confuses me. I feel like a grandmother when I'm messing with technology stuff. National Guard members say security plan is still sound after inauguration changes. That's great. Where is it? No, that's not it. So come on now. So the garbage truck that drove Trump in his viral campaign moment is going to the inaugural parade. There's a little picture there. You guys can see that. That's important. I think that's great. Here it is. So this is the motorcade for Trump for the second flight that he was going on, because he could not fly into DC on Air Force One, I believe. But you see those little things on top of the motorcade? Everybody's like, those are drone detection or something like that. It's really not called a drone detection. What it is, according to community notes over on X, it is the vehicles are ECM, electronic countermeasure vehicles, and are commonly found in presidential motorcades. So basically what it's supposed to do, they're saying, is that it's kind of like an anti-drone technology. A lot of people are worried about the whole drone situation because DJI, who I used to use their microphones when I first started with YouTube. I used DJI microphones. We had a DJI drone ourselves. You could fly around whatever else. Well, DJI drones took away their, let me not fuck this up. Took away, they're Chinese made, they're a Chinese company, they're Chinese systems in them, in these drones. And they took away the ability for the drones to land back at home, meaning the base starting point. So when you have a drone, you set it up, you start it, you get it going, and wherever you start from is considered the home base because you're holding the control in your hands, right? It's considered the home base. So you let the drone go out, and when you're ready for it to come back, you normally just push the home button and the drone comes back to where it started from. So they're saying that DJI took that away, took out that piece of the technology or the whatever the crap you want to call it, so that when you hit the home button, it does not automatically bring the drone back. And that looked like a negative, that it was something that could be used to do something terroristic or ish, whatever. Every time I say terrorist, I think of George Bush, and he said terroristic or however crap he phrased it in that one time. But so now DJI drones are getting like a really bad rap. Maybe it's for a reason, but these drone technology things, whatever they have on the motorcades, I mean, it makes sense. Not drone technology, but electric, whatever. Drones are electric. It makes perfect sense because we have seen in videos from the wars that are going on all over the place that they are using drones to drop bombs. So of course you want to make sure that you can detect if there's a drone anywhere near your presidential motorcade, or near your inauguration, or near your what's the word? What's the parade called after the inauguration? I think it has a name, but I can't really think of what it is, so it doesn't really matter. But drones right now are getting a bad rap because of what they can do. So whatever, that's it. There's something I saw and I wanted to bring up. Hold on, because I definitely need more coffee right now. My brain is already not doing its job. Okay, so let me get back to this. So we did the plane. Oh, here's the fireworks, in case y'all wanted to see them with this weird glare in the background and whatever's going on. Those are actually very, very beautiful. And this is when he was looking at the fireworks before he's, gazing lovingly at his wife. But those were really, really pretty. We talked about this yesterday. Please hold. There's more. Where's the rest? We're going to make this work. Lone actors are the greatest safety threat during Trump's inauguration. This is according to Capitol Police Chief, which is very, very true. Though, that's what I want to show you. Hold on. I found it. I remembered where it was. This is a really fast moving thing, but this is from like 6 a.m. this morning. The people in DC lined up for Trump's rally today that isn't until like way later today. At least they have porta potties out there. You guys saw that? Because can you imagine if it was like a New Year's Eve thing where you're just standing there and it's either pee down your leg or figure out how to hold it for 24 hours? Because that's not feasible. But that's how many people are there for Trump's thing today. You know how many people showed up yesterday for that stupid, they called it Women's March, that then turned into a anti-Trump march. They had barely anybody compared to the same march they did in 2016 or 2020. I think it was 2020 when there was when it was the other march that was like massive, right? I think it was then. This one yesterday was not nearly as large, and I don't know if you guys saw videos of it, but there was a black man in a red MAGA hat who walked up to this group of basically libtard women who are just absolute god awful. And he walks up, he has a military backpack on, also number one, and his red MAGA hat, and he's a black man. And I read this thing somewhere that said half of those women brains probably short-circuited because they see red MAGA hat and they immediately are like, oh, bad man, blah blah. But then it's a black guy and they're like, oh wait, that's racist, and you know, I'm supposed to whatever. And so then like their brain short circuits because they can't figure out if they're supposed to be mad and attack or if they're supposed to be like, no, solidarity. You know what I mean? I thought it was rucksack is what a military backpack's called. Thank you, Jay Zootube, I think it says. I just thought that was very interesting. And they still, of course, went after him and attacked him because white liberal women are the absolute fucking worst. And I know it because I used to be a white liberal woman. I am a reformed libtard. We've talked about this numerous times. I see them now and I'm like, ugh. But that's just me. So that's the video of this. The doors open at 1 p.m. The program kicks off at 3 and Trump takes the stage at 5 p.m. So this is what has been interesting to me, that today the weather there is already getting, you know, crappy, cold, snowy kind of stuff. And he's still doing the outdoor rally today or all of this and then taking the stage at 5 p.m. But then tomorrow, everything is kind of off kilter. Like, why is today not changed at all? Why is all the information about today out, but then tomorrow is where everything's being like all messed with and moved around and not knowing where it's going to happen? Aren't the same threats still viable today that would be viable tomorrow? And technically, if the threats are viable tomorrow, wouldn't they be viable any day that he is president? That's what's weird to me, is everything that's going on right now with where's the inauguration going to happen? How many people are going to get to go? Are the police actually going to show up and do their damn job? How many military members are going to be there? Are they going to let people in to view any of this? What's going on? Because at first they were going to open up the arena. I don't remember the name of the arena. My brain wants to say Capital One Arena, but I feel like that's horribly wrong. They were going to open up the arena for viewing of everything. And then there's supposed to be that parade after. And now they're saying that parade is canceled. So it's very interesting to me that there's so much confusion about the next 24 hours, but no confusion about today. You know what I mean? Hold on. I just saw this thing that says, where is it? Monkey Works has been highlighting drone activity over DC for 2 weeks. It is all part of the U.S. military security plan for prepping for this week's events, which is great. I've seen Monkey Works a few times. You guys should definitely follow the channel. I know he does a lot of really good stuff over there when it comes to like earthquakes and drone stuff and a bunch of random stuff. Just like, although I think Ryan Hall, y'all, as in life, might be kind of a dumbass if you've followed him on X or not, but he gives really, really, really important information about the weather. So I would say follow Ryan Hall, y'all, for weather stuff. Monkey Works for earthquake, drone, whatever stuff, and whoever else you want to follow that you enjoy how they bring you information or entertain you or whatever else, right? Excuse me. So today is going to be interesting with the rally that's going on, and I personally hope everything goes off without a hitch. Obviously, I know we are all on pins and needles with this. We want to be extremely excited, but we're also very anxious about what could possibly happen. It's one of those things where you don't want to get your hopes up, but you also want to only put out the good thoughts and the good juju and the good whatever else, and you feel wrong. It feels bad or wrong having this nagging thought in the back of your head that something's going to go badly, because you don't want to live your life always thinking something's going to go wrong or something bad's going to happen. You know what I mean? But for right now, until January 21st, that's how I feel. AJM says we need to pray for his safety. I agree 100%. If you are not the praying sort, you can still send the good thoughts, the good juju, the good whatever it is that you do to put positivity out in the universe. I think we all need to do that right now, not only for Donald Trump. Let's think about this. It's not just Donald Trump who will be affected by anything that happens or doesn't happen. It is the world. It is this country. It is every other country that relies on the United States, that agrees with the United States. Oh, that's the other thing I was going to tell you guys. Way off topic, but back to another topic. The TikTok ban. I saw a lot of people on X. They're like, I'm in Canada. Why can't I get on TikTok? And I was like, oh, Canada, are you now the 51st state of the United States? Like, are you part of us? Have we already absorbed you and nobody said anything? The only way that would happen is if Donald Trump is already president, like I said, and things have already been talked about. That may be why today is when the Hamas hostages are being released, because Donald Trump is already technically president. I'm just saying, the things that are happening today, since last night, give me personal thought to believe that maybe he was already sworn in. That is my thought process. And I don't know if I would want to be right or wrong on that. I don't really see there being anything really wrong with there's nothing wrong if he wasn't sworn in early, because that makes sense. He's not supposed to be sworn in until tomorrow. If he was sworn in early, it could be good or bad. Like I said, the whole Mike Johnson taking over thing, or because they realized that dementia-riddled Joe couldn't make it 24 more hours, and so they're like, we should really just go ahead and get Donald in here. That's it. That's just my thought on that. The things that are happening today, and Donald Trump is posting about it, makes me wonder if he's already been sworn in. And they'll never tell us. That's the thing. You have to realize that a lot of stuff that we talk about here, or a lot of other people talk about, will never be confirmed by the people in charge. Maybe by Donald Trump later on, since he wants to basically open the floodgates on everything. But they will never confirm stuff. They're still not confirming Jeffrey Epstein stuff, which I really hope he does. Kash Patel is going to be all over it if that's the case. I'm just hoping that everything goes well. That's it. I know that we're not going to hear all the truth of everything. Hopefully we can discern most of it for ourselves. But today, how things go today, I think are going to be a very big indicator of how things are going to go tomorrow. We've already talked about the fact that the Clintons, the Bushes, the Obamas have all said that they're not going to be at the inauguration. A lot of people are like, no, they're saying they weren't going to the luncheon. No, they've said they're not going to be at anything inauguration related. And that in and of itself was a red flag to me, that none of them were going to be there. The only reason I would think they wouldn't want to be there is because they would be worried for their own safety. And the reason they would be worried for their safety is if they happen to know something's going to happen, or they have very little faith in the Secret Service, which as they should, or the Capitol Police or anybody else to keep the people there safe. So it's a very interesting time right now about what's going on. It is so windy, and somebody just started up their car and their exhaust sounds like a fart. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not, but it sounds like a fart outside right now because of this person's exhaust. Anyway, two things, and then I'm gonna let you guys go because I'll be back here later with more, but we have somewhere to be in just a little bit. So 2 things. Number 1, I forgot to tell you guys yesterday, this is the personal section of the live stream. We put an offer in on the house that we liked. So we put an offer in on the house that we liked. Today we should get, that counter or whatever and start the whole back and forth to see what happens. So ridiculously nervous and excited for how that's going to go. We went and re-looked at the house yesterday. I told you guys, took our daughter to see it. She fell in love. She's already decorated the room in her head, everything else. We put in the offer about an hour after we left, and it's been like pins and needles for me. So again, fingers crossed, because it was one of those places where we walked in and both my husband and I, the very first time, were like, yes, like you just feel it, like this is home. So I'm very, very hopeful that we figure out how to make this work, because it is out of our price range. So we did go in at a lower number than I think the people selling it really want to be at. And I'm hoping we can find some happy medium to make this work. Yeah, I already told my daughter, I said, don't ask me for shit if we get in this house for the next year. You don't get nothing. We're eating ramen noodles and everything we have saved up from the last 2 years in our pantry. Don't ask me for nothing else. So, and we're all okay with that. We're all okay with that. We're not going to use the lights. If you're cold, put on a sweatshirt. If you're hot, get naked. Like those kind of things. That's the plan. The other thing I want to tell you guys is, because y'all know I don't have sponsors. I don't do sponsor stuff. It's not my jam. I don't like it personally for myself. I'm not a fan of it. But I tell you about things that I like and whatnot. So I've told you about Crackings. The whole reason I'm using this mug today, Crackings, and I know it's backwards. our favorite, absolute favorite restaurant in Okaloosa for breakfast, brunch, whatever. So they gave me this mug because I drink out of their coffee mugs all the time. And I was like, oh my gosh, I love that color. It's brand new. So they gave me this mug and they're like, you know what? One, because I'm loyal as shit to them. Like I'm there all the time. We go in a lot. We take anybody we know. We tell everybody to go there. Love it. So he gave me this mug, but Ivan did. And he goes, hey, you know, these are handmade here in the US. And I was like, oh really? Do tell more, because I am all about supporting homegrown, supporting made in America businesses, right? We have too many businesses that are pulling everything in from China, Taiwan, Philippines, wherever the hell else. I want to support made in America. I have no clue what these people's political party are. I don't give a shit. I'm just going to put it out there like that. This mug has kept my coffee hot since I walked down here. It is still warm. These mugs are absolutely amazeballs. So I'm going to show you this card, which is pointless because it will be backwards, and I realize that, but they're called Deneen Pottery, Deneen Pottery. Again, it's backwards. This is not helpful at all unless you flip your own phone or whatever. But they have Instagram and Facebook, Deneen Pottery, and they take orders. That's why I'm telling you this. You can custom order your own shit. Please understand, there's about to be a squirrel on the front of one of these, because this is my absolute favorite mug. Out of everything I have, my absolute favorite mug, besides my own SquirrelTribe mug, obviously. But this thing keeps things really, really warm. So I am going to order one for me and maybe see if they can do something where I can order through them to put them on like my website stuff to sell or something. I don't really know, whatever. But it's made in America, and that's what I like about it, is the fact that it is handmade here in the USA by USAers, by American citizens, and I'm all about America first. So if you guys want to look them up, it's, like I said, Deneen, Deneen Pottery. I hope I'm saying it right. I don't see how else it would be said, but it says kiln fired over 2100 degrees Fahrenheit. Each piece is safe for the dishwasher, oven, freezer, and microwave. And I have tested out the microwave. It does work in the microwave just fine, not a problem. And it's lead free and food safe. And that is what matters to me. And they've been in business for over 50 years. So that's that. Okay, that's all I want to tell you guys about that. Got to go get ready to do more stuff today, and I will see you guys again later because there's a lot more I want to talk about. I love you all immensely. Thank you for starting your Sunday here with me. I appreciate it. I hope you guys had a nice chat over there in the live chat section, and that's it for now. I'm going to go upstairs and drink the rest of my hot coffee, and I'll see you guys later. Okay, love you. Goodbye. Adios. Muchachos.